This is the story, the fantastically true story, of Herbert A. Philbrick, who for 9 frightening years did lead 3 lives. Average citizen, high-level member of the Communist Party, and counter-spy for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. For obvious reasons, the names, dates, and places have been changed, but the story is based on fact. The policy of the Communist Party is to attack the weakest point in any given objective. This is the story of an attempt to create a weak point when one did not exist.
All right, put it down.
It's wonderful, Mr. McNeil. It's the only word I can think of for it. Wonderful.
For the fire extinguisher business, it means a great stride forward.
Tell me, Mr. McNeil, will it work as well in a regular room as in the model?
It will work better. As soon as the bank approves the loan, we will close the plant and retool, which certainly seems a pity.
Why a pity?
We're working right now on a capacity schedule. Business has never been better.
How long will the plant have to be closed?
2 weeks, depending on circumstances. How much time do you require to set up our advertising campaign?
Well, when you take into consideration newspapers, radio, television, trade press, personal calls on builders around the country, it'll probably take several months.
Well, do the best you can. It looks like a perfect setup to me. What could happen to spoil it?
Yes, what could happen to spoil it? Afternoon, Comrade Mary.
Comrade Herb.
And now, Comrade Herb, tell us what happened at the meeting.
Well, the fire extinguisher is a sensational success.
I'm not interested in the fire extinguisher. Is the factory going to close?
Yes.
When? And for how long?
I can't answer that exactly. When it does close, it'll be for 2 weeks.
Would it be within the realm of possibility for you to stretch that period?
Oh, I don't see how. My own work will take several months, but I don't see what effect that'll have on the plant closing.
Well, think of something, Comrade. Also press McNeil for the actual closing date. Comrade Mary, have you any comment?
Not at the moment, Comrade.
Then the meeting's at an end.
I think the FBI should know that the comrades are getting ready to try something. I'm not yet sure exactly what it is, but they're very much interested in the fact that the Varden Fire Extinguisher Company will shortly close the plant for retooling.
They want to know the exact date of the closing and want me to try and keep it closed for an extended period. Man in charge of project is Comrade Mitch Evans, his address 542 Macon Boulevard. This is Dressler. Bring me the file on Mitchell Evans, present address 542 Macon Boulevard.
Thank you, Mr. Delancey. Yes, thank you very much. Well, that settles it, Mr. Philbrick. The bank will give us what we need for the changeover. So we'll close the factory on the 4th, the day after tomorrow, and that will give you the opportunity to...
And so the plant will definitely be closed down the day after tomorrow.
Splendid. Splendid. We'll have to work fast. Perhaps the greatest obstacle to the success of the Communist Party in the United States is a full stomach. As long as people are well-fed, they're satisfied. What's the answer? Well, comrades, our party leaders have found the answer. A depression. A depression that will make Mr. and Mrs. Well-Fed America feel the pinch of hunger for a change.
Well, may I point out that bank deposits in this country are at an all-time high, that production is going along at a safe but very profitable level, that there's no noticeable increase in unemployment, Any depression in this country is not in the foreseeable future.
You underestimate the intelligence of our leaders, comrade. They have a plan to force the depression on the general public. A feasible, workable plan. And we three, in this room, are to have the privilege of putting this plan to a test in this area.
And how do we go about it with this plan?
The closing of the extinguisher factory tells us where there are at least 1,000 people who will be out of work. We'll start them talking depression, thinking depression, believing in a depression. And a depression will soon be here.
And if it works here, it's feasible on a national level.
Correct. Make people start cutting down. Make them not want to buy. Soon they won't be able to buy. I must leave. Comrade Mary, you have your instructions.
Yes, comrade.
Any instructions for me?
Yes. You might start writing some articles on a shaky economy or a business recession. Use such phrases as, if we all get together, we can prevent this depression from becoming a major calamity. Or, there is a cure for the present depression, and so on. Write with the thought that the depression is already here.
Yes, comrade.
You'll have little time for anything else in the next few days, comrade, including sleep.
And now, if you'll excuse me, I have some important work to do. Hello, Miss Trimbley. I'm just calling to tell you that your laundry's ready. Can you pick it up later? Thank you. Hello, Mrs. Wakefield. I thought you'd like to know that your laundry's ready. Yes. Will you come and pick it up later today? Thank you.
With each sentence containing a little drop of paralyzing poison.
Could you see that we get a copy of everything you write? And along with it, give us another article that, in your opinion, would counteract the effect of the first article?
Easy. Anything else?
Get all the information you can as to when these articles will appear.
That may be a little tough. Better be picked out of my hand by courier. Anything else?
We'll dope out a way to handle the house-to-house canvas. That's what's going on. We'll look around for any other ideas that may help us.
Right.
Hello. I represent the Regional Merchants Association. We're making a survey of the potential market in this area. Would you mind answering a few questions? Not at all. Would you like to step inside? Oh, no. It's very pleasant out here. Shall we just sit down? Now, may I have your name, please?
Donovan, Heather Donovan.
Heather Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
And your husband's name?
Paul.
Is he employed?
Oh, yes.
And by whom?
By the Varden Fire Extinguishers. Most of the people in this neighborhood work for them.
Now, Mrs. Donovan, do you plan to buy anything in the foreseeable future?
Well, I don't quite understand.
I mean by that, do you plan to buy an automobile or electrical appliances or TV sets?
Well, we have practically everything in the way of electrical appliances at home, but we were planning to get a new car.
Do you mind my asking, Mrs. Donovan, are these things you mentioned all paid for?
Oh, good heavens, no. That'll take ages and ages.
All right. Now, thank you very much for your kindness, Miss Donovan.
You're very welcome.
By the way, have you heard the rumor to the effect that the extinguisher plant is closing?
Why, no, I haven't.
Well, I presume it's just based on the fact that several of the other factories have closed in this area.
Why are they closing?
Well, I don't know. They give various excuses, like taking inventory, retooling. But actually, Mrs. Donovan, business is falling off very badly. And that nasty little word depression keeps picking up its little head.
But Paul told me that the factory was way behind in their orders. Why, they have never done such business.
Well, I hope it's true for your sake, dear. Thanks again. It's quite all right.
Okay, Philbrick, the first little contemptible composition is ready for the comrades. Love to see him, wouldn't you? But you can't turn around. The comrades might be watching.
I have an announcement to make to all the employees of the Varden Fire Extinguisher Company. The new smothering gas is perfected and will shortly be placed on the market. My employees may then look forward to an unprecedented era of prosperity in our business. In the meantime, we will be compelled to close the plant for 2 weeks for retooling. And I want to take this opportunity to thank every one of you for your loyalty and your cooperation.
I don't claim conditions are bad at the moment. I don't claim we'll all be starving to death by this time tomorrow. But I think we should all be alert and try to prevent the present depression signals from becoming a depression reality. And before signing off, I'd like to ask you these questions. Why, in the midst of plenty, should we be threatened with a depression? Is it a rule of cycles? Must there be a collapse after every war? Think about these things tonight, my friends. They are of vital importance to every one of you.
Honey, why'd you do that?
Ah, he's nuts.
I'm not so sure.
Listen to this. The public is urged not to be alarmed over the economic dip which is currently taking place in this country. If we will all work together, we can lick the depression. What a pack of lies. Whoever wrote that article is either an ignorant fool or a malicious troublemonger.
And so when the plant has been closed for the 2 weeks, the employees must be told it will not open until further notice.
Yeah, but my information is that the retooling is going to be finished on time.
It's a new product. How can they begin production until they have orders? And how can they get orders until your advertising has a chance to sell?
Yeah, I can work in that direction.
In the meantime, what about that article on professional optimism?
Could write it tonight?
It'll be picked up in the morning.
You can't get sleepy yet, Philbrick. Double job to do tonight. New article for the party, and a counter article for Dressler and the FBI. You've got to stay awake and work. Stay awake. Work. All right, that's it. You're finished. Get a few hours sleep before you deliver the article. Now for an envelope with a cross on it. That goes to Dressler. One from the plain pile to pass to the comrades. Job is to find Dressler and deliver the antidote. Oh, no. sleepy last night, you made crosses on both envelopes. And you've given the one intended for Dressler to the courier. What do you do now, Philbrick? Just what do you do now? Hello? Hello, is this Mr. Casey?
Yes?
Mr. Casey, we find that your laundry has been delivered to the wrong person. We're somewhat worried about it.
You can't intercept it before it's delivered?
No, I'm afraid we can't. That's the difficulty.
Well, someone said when you have a difficulty, use it. Make it work for you.
Oh, yes, I think I see what you mean. Goodbye. Like the man said, the best defense is a good offense.
Mr. McNeil?
Mr. Dressler, sit down, won't you?
Thank you.
This is a pleasure, and I might add, an honor.
If it is, it will have to be an unofficial honor, Mr. McNeil, as I'm merely calling upon you as a private citizen interested in the welfare of his country.
Well, tell me what I can do to subscribe to this same interest.
Well, several things, including a speech, which is already written for you. Perhaps I'd better start at the beginning, Mr. McNeil. This is something that concerns your plant.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Duncan Malone speaking. And today this station is very happy to bring you this special program in the interest of public service. I would like to have you meet our panelists for this debate, Mr. Victor Mason, a student of foreign trade, and Mr. Mitchell Evans, former teacher of economics at State University. The subject of our debate today is business. Is it good or is it bad? I understand Mr. Mason thinks it's good. So suppose we let him open our discussion.
Well, Mr. Malone and ladies and gentlemen, I think business is good because, well, most of the people I know are working, and I haven't heard any complaining about bad business.
In a debate of this kind, I have found that what one thinks doesn't always carry with it the facts necessary to
Darling,
arrive
come
at a
in a minute.
logical
I want you
conclusion.
to see something.
If business is good, why are factories that furnish the necessities of life closing? Why has unemployment jumped 4% in the last few months?
I wasn't aware that it had.
A glance at the figures will convince anyone I'm telling the truth.
Why don't you leave it on?
Because I don't want to hear any more about unemployment and factories closing. We're up to our ears in debt. And why? Because we thought I had a good, steady job. The factory doesn't open when it's supposed to. We're sunk.
But, Paul, turning off the television set is not going to stop the depression.
Yeah, if the factory doesn't open, we're not going to own a television set. I'll get it. It's a telegram for me.
Goodness, I hope it's not more bad news.
What do you make of it?
I don't know.
Neither do I, but I'm not going to argue about it. Hey, put on the television and see if those guys are still talking.
For goodness sakes, I've never seen so many funny things happen so fast.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Warren McNeil, and I am president of the Varden Fire Extinguisher Company. If you were tuned to this station a few minutes ago, you heard a program that was specially prepared for but one purpose, to deceive you. If you will bear with me for one moment, I will endeavor to prove to you that conditions such as were described in that telecast are not true.
How do you do, Mrs. Donovan? I'm Mary Lane. Remember me?
I certainly do.
Instead of a depression, we are actually faced with a period of prosperity such as the world has never known.
There are some additional questions to be asked on the subject we were discussing the other day. May I come in and have a chat with you?
Of course.
A prosperity based on sound economy and enterprise.
The Regional Merchants Association is trying to get at the bottom of this national unemployment situation. Mrs. Donovan, in your own words, what do you feel is responsible for this national decline?
Miss Lane, before I answer that question, I would like you to read a telegram we just received.
Factory will open on schedule. Should anyone call on you seeking answers to a questionnaire, notify the police. Why, how dare you? If you think I'm going to stand here and be insulted by people that don't even appreciate what I'm trying to do.
I don't think you'd better leave. Honey, call the police.
We're in trouble.
What happened?
Someone found out that telecast was a phony.
How could they?
All I know is the station manager came after me with blood in his eye.
Well, it doesn't matter what the manager thinks. We got the punch over.
Except that McNeil went on the air right on top of us and completely knocked the props from under us.
What happened? What happened all of a sudden? Will somebody please tell me that? What happened?
A lot of funny things have been happening today. And you know the most suspicious thing that's happened up to now? Is this. From Comrade Herb.
Bring him in.
Drive to Comrade Mitch's, would you please? You look very grim, Comrade. Something wrong? You've used the incorrect word, Comrade. Everything is wrong. If you have a difficulty, use it. Got a difficulty, all right. Just hope you can make it work for you. At least you know they have the article you prepared for Dressler.
Here he is.
Do you recognize this?
Yeah.
Where have you seen it before?
Why, passed it to him today.
Did you hear that? Let me read you a sentence or two from this article. If you were buying a pair of shoes, you would try them on until you found a pair that fit you. Then you'd test the quality of the leather and the integrity of the manufacturer. In other words, you wouldn't buy a pair of shoes out of a grab bag. Well, don't buy a depression on that basis either. Test the quality of the statements and the integrity of the person making them. Then make your own choice. Don't let someone else make it for you. Did you write that, Comrade?
I sure did. Just between us, I think it's pretty smart.
It's treason. It's exactly opposite to the thoughts we've been trying to sell the people. What do you mean by...
Now, just a minute, Comrade. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but let's be careful of how we use that word treason. Remember, I can use the word stupidity just as easily.
Are you accusing me of being stupid?
Somebody's certainly being stupid if they're accusing me of treason for trying to use a little intelligence. In trying to start a depression, you've gone overboard. Instead of suggesting and feeding them the bait little by little, you're trying to cram it down their throats. Well, you can't do it.
Go on, Comrade.
I recognize that danger. And with that article, I tried to slow us up so we could get off to a fresh start. I sat up half the night trying to write the kind of letter you wanted. Then I sat up the rest of the night trying to write a letter that seemed to me to make a little sense. That's the one the Comrade has in his hands. All right, if that's treason, I'm guilty.
You know something? I think he's right. We've overdone it.
We've failed. Our plan has been an utter failure. Mary and her assistants have been arrested.
Anything we can do?
No, but don't be discouraged. We'll keep trying, Comrade. Don't forget that.
FBI will keep watching, comrades. Don't forget that either. Through the cooperation of the police, the newspapers, and the television and radio stations, the attempt to bring about an economic crisis, even on a local scale, was a complete failure. Next week, we'll bring you another story from the files of Herbert A. Philbrick. The kind of story that could only be told by a man who for 9 fantastic years served as a counter-spy for the Federal Bureau of Investigation.